Hello everyone, hope you're having a wonderful day. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to discuss a topic that's very near and dear to my heart, healthcare. I work in the healthcare industry. I don't know if I've mentioned this before. I have in some of my older ones. Let me stop lying. But it is imperative to find out what is going on currently with the state of healthcare. Here in the US, we're struggling. We have an old, antiquated system that really doesn't lend itself to the modern problems, and financially it's crippling to those who needed to utilize it. So how come we have such a hard time providing quality health care at an affordable price to the majority of the citizens of this country when we're hands down the wealthiest country on the planet? You know, I had to ask myself, honestly, what's going on? I mean, is it beyond what we can handle, or is it just our government and their way of, keeping the old guard intact so they can continue to reap the benefits that they have? I mean, there's a lot of models all around the world that do very well. I'm not going to point to Canada or, Central Europe, where they have tons and tons of countries that have socialized medicine. It's never going to work here. We're not socialists. So, I mean, you got to think about that. You can only have a system that, works for the type of government you have. So, what is going on in healthcare? Why is it that we spend so many trillions of dollars a year, yet hardly any of our citizens are covered? Who is making the big money and pulling the strings behind the curtain, correct? I've seen, systems here in my own country. There's a small cooperative of doctors that are now offering their own health insurance. They've banded together across the nation with other service providers like pharmacies and urgent cares, and they've come up with a model that actually works. They've been selling it to their patients, and their patients are thriving. The plan has a minimum payment for adult, a minimum payment for child, very reasonable. I believe the model they're using currently is $50 for an adult and $10 for a child, and that gets you absolutely unlimited service. How'd they do it? No bureaucracy, no committees, no trillions put aside to make it work. How? It's mind-boggling. How could they do it? Probably a thing called cooperation, right? When you look at some of the systems that everybody's thrilled with, places like Canada, and like I mentioned earlier, the Netherlands, France, name any of these countries in Central Europe, and they have socialized medicine because they have pretty much a socialized democracy, if you can call it that. So the question you have to ask yourself is, why do we not all copy those systems? Canada's our neighbor right up above. For some reason, a lot of their citizens come here to have operations. So I had to ask myself, why would that be? Why would they have all this free medical service, and yet a majority of people who seek highly skilled operations have to come to the United States? Upon investigation, it was shown to me that the way these social systems work are through a strict budget. Every hospital, as a basic example, hospitals are given an operating budget for the year. Everything that has to be done within that year must come out of that budget. There is no going over the budget. There's no such a thing. There is no allocation of extra funds from anywhere. So what happens is that operations are prioritized, and then you receive your operation in the assigned order. All right, this will make it easier for me. I have to turn everything into math, otherwise I struggle with it. So when you receive your number and are assigned a place for operation, I heard this through an example when I was looking at chat rooms on why socialized medicine may be a problem. And a gentleman who needed a cancer operation was told he couldn't have it for a year from the time he was diagnosed, which in itself was disturbing, but It wasn't as life-threatening, I guess, because he never really went into what type of cancer, but still life-threatening. Cancer is cancer. He was assigned his number. He patiently awaited his day in the hospital, got all the free medication he wanted, lost 3/4 of the work year because he was just too ill from the medication to go to work. His time came up, his number was called, but instead of telling him he should come for his pre-op, they told him that unfortunately this year his operation wouldn't be done. The hospital had actually run out of money because they had extra births that they weren't counting on that they couldn't turn away. And so his cancer operation would be one of the first ones when they received the new budget money in the beginning of the next fiscal year. Yeah, I don't have to tell you what happened, right? His was a sad chat room posting. He never made it to his operation. He deteriorated tremendously before he even got halfway through the next year. And his final post was that he was going into hospice. So he expired. So I don't really think the drawbacks to that particular system are worth the benefits. I would love to go to a doctor for free every time, but there's no way I could wait for a needed operation for 18, 24 months. So we have to examine something else. So what's next? What's the solution? Everybody seems to gripe and bitch about this particular issue, but no one ever offers any viable solutions. Well, there are quite a few. There are new plans like health savings plans. Those are excellent. You get to take your money and your investment with you wherever you go. Cash with the doctors seems to be always something they like. They never complain about being paid. It's right on the spot. There are some faith-based insurance models that I've seen lately, where it's a cooperative of people from a community. They band together, pay into a fund, and then support each other when crisis hits. They've approached the doctors, the hospitals, the urgent cares, and already gotten a price and have a set rate that their members get. And as a community, they, my community is over 10,000 people. That would be quite the group. It'd be 500 times the group I'm involved in now. So we would be able to get a phenomenal rate. There are some faith-based groups that are doing it as well. You may want to check with whatever denomination you're part of. Faith-based, that's a tongue twister, faith-based. Faith-based insurance is something that's very new, but probably very old once we look into it, and it seems to carry a lot of positives behind it. So instead of just complaining, the time has come, people, that we need to move and take action. You need to look into alternatives. You need to write to your representatives and let them know you're severely dissatisfied with the shenanigans they've been up to. You need to speak with people in your faith, in your community, your colleagues at work. Here in America, we're very hell-bent on getting benefits from our employer, but yet probably better off banding together as employees and removing that party. Even though they do contribute, the deals they get us involved in are sweet for them, but not so sweet for us. And personally, me and Rini, we're looking into one of these community-based insurances. The rates are way better, and the payout is way less. Well, I guess the pay-in is way less. And I don't know, I kind of like something that's controlled by a group of people like myself who have reached out to professionals already and got set rates that operate within the budget that we have. See, like I told you, I'm a number-based person. I really like when things add up. So if you can go out in advance and say a tonsillectomy is $200 instead of $20,000 like it costs, that's a way better deal, right? So if everybody puts in whatever equal share per tonsillectomy per person, this is a good thing. And this is your money. It can be invested your way. You're going to be in control of the doctors instead of them saying, well, the group pays me one way or the other. That's another thing I'm not a fan of. Today, the way it works is the doctor bills and he just gets his money. No one cares if you got what you needed, survive, get better, Makes no difference because it's all set in stone. You show up, you drop a card on them, they bill your insurance, everyone's happy. Your insurance is getting their money, the doctor's getting their money, and you're getting shortchanged. Happens every time. Look, I'm not saying there aren't some great insurances out there. I work for an insurance company, so I know there's really good ones out there. But it doesn't matter. All of them have something going on behind the scenes, right? They all have their own deal they're worried about, not your deal. Your deal is just you're part of their group. You're a number, your number so-and-so. What you have to do is make some decisions for yourself. You have to do some hard work. We need to do the legwork, band together, make the deals. See this facility behind me? Trinity Medical Center? Oh, man. Whether people come or not, somehow it makes millions of dollars a year. It doesn't have a very good reputation. It's a beautiful facility, state of the art, but the level of care is so, I mean, they still get paid. And I hear from plenty of the people, my neighbors, that I wouldn't go there if it wasn't for the fact that it's the only thing in the area. So maybe that's it. That's how they get you. Me, I actually do most of my medical procedures and things out of the area down in Tampa where I work. They are at the mercy of the people there because there's so many people that there's a lot of facilities, so you have a lot of choices of top-notch places to go. I have this place and a place down yonder that is as old as time itself. So, take me to Tampa. It's only about 20 minutes if I'm not dying. Anyway, I hope this has been insightful. You may have your own opinion on this. I'm surely hoping you do. Let me know in those comments down below. Totally frustrated with healthcare? Or are you one of the people that are absolutely ecstatic? Healthcare has been great to you. Bravo, congratulations, you have a wonderful employer. I do know some people, my son, that have outstanding health care for very little cost because they have the 1 in a million, when you hear that expression, they have the 1 in a million employer that figures if I keep them healthy, they can be more productive. I like that attitude instead of, it's just another thing I got to give them in order to get them to show up for work, right? What have we come to today? But you know what I want. I want you to let me know in those comments down below. Is it something you'd be interested in? Community-based or faith-based healthcare? Negotiating your own deal and cutting out the middleman? Paying no premiums, just paying into a fund like an HSA? I like the idea. They don't really offer that at all where I work, so I can't do that. But like I told you, I'm going to do a little more homework and look into something for myself. I don't need the government to find everything for me or my boss to do all the work and then tell me what I'm getting. Thank you, but no thank you. But y'all know how we do it here. Comment. I want to see them comments light up. I love my insurance. I hate my insurance. Insurance company's the devil. Insurance company's God. I know. I work there, so I got to tell you, they're nice people. I work there, people like me. But I've also worked at ones that ain't so nice. Love ya. See y'all in the next one.